Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, just a quick one before we get into this. I usually do my videos in advance and I never know what order I'm going to do them in, so I hadn't said anything up until now because I wasn't sure when the actual video would be released, but I'm pretty confident at this point that by the time this video released, the time will have passed. So I just want to say I hope you guys all had a very Merry Christmas, and I'm just wishing you all a happy and prosperous new year. I hope that, crypto is very good to you guys. I hope you all do well, but also just in life in general, right? Because it ain't just about money. I'm just wishing you guys all, peace. I'm wishing you all happiness and just good things for you all. So I hope 2026 is a good one for you. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. We've got a post here from Generation Infinity, so Genfinity, and they say here, Hedera in 2025. So this is a breakdown of everything that's happened with Hedera, so let's get into it. Architecting the trust layer of the digital economy. Across 12 months, Hedera was used by Virginia DEQ to launch a statewide environmental credit marketplace, Vera to connect Hedera Guardian to the world's largest carbon registry, the US State Department backing Equity Labs verifiable AI via Hedera Consensus Service, NVIDIA and Accenture supporting verifiable compute anchored on Hedera, financial institutions running real-time settlement and tokenized asset pilots, PwC and the Hashgraph Group issuing on-chain ESG credentials, WiseKey and CLSQ anchoring satellite telemetry with post-quantum security, public sector agencies exploring land and record registries on Hedera, enterprises issuing regulated tokenized instruments with compliance controls, builders deploying AI agents with verifiable execution rails, and many more. All of this on public infrastructure, live systems, auditable data, production environments. The rails that made it possible. Finality in seconds. Predictable, fixed, low fees in USD. Immutable consensus for compliance-grade records. Enterprise network governance. Decentralized code infrastructure in brackets Linux Foundation. Native tokenization. Smart contracts and identity primitives. From AI to tokenization to ESG. Finance to public infrastructure. Hedera didn't chase narratives in 2025. It delivered deployments institutions and the world can actually use at scale. That's what architecting the trust layer of the digital economy looks like. Wow. Real great breakdown there from Genfinity. So if you don't know, King Solomon, who's a influencer who covers HBAR, XRP, Quant, etc. He's the guy who, I don't know if he completely owns it or CEO or something like that, but he's part of one of the founders of Genfinity. Real great influencer in the crypto space, to be honest with you. I really like his content. This was a great breakdown, man. Look at all of the things that's happened in a year with Hedera. And this is why when I speak to you guys in terms of, how I judge an asset that I'm going to invest in, I look at what's the utility, what's the partnerships, what's the fundamentals of the project or the network. And for me, you see all this stuff happening with Hedera, and look, I'm not saying that I can't be wrong, but I just find it hard to see all these things going on and thinking that Hedera is going to fail. Look at how much stuff has been happening there. Look at the types of names that you're hearing that are working with Hedera, PwC, NVIDIA. We're talking huge businesses here, huge companies. And so, for me, I just look at this overall with the year that it's been for Hedera, and I think it has been a great year. I really do. And this is why, for me, as I've always said to you guys, yes, we can look at the price and, when's it going to reflect in the price? I don't know. I don't know. But for me, I do think we are going to get to a point eventually where we're going to be relying on the networks that actually do something. The one thing I will say about crypto is, I've said it before in a previous video, to me, crypto itself isn't the scam. It's bad people who want to use it to scam people. So it's more the people than crypto itself. Because I look at this stuff that crypto can do, and I see all the positives of what it was actually meant for. But I will say this, yes, unfortunately, there is a lot of bad actors out there who do want to use crypto to scam people, right? And so This is why I do welcome regulations in the sense of, yes, people might say, hey, crypto was meant to be decentralized and, we didn't want it to be regulated and things like that. You've got to take the pros and cons, right? Because while you can say, okay, yes, that wasn't the vision for crypto, it's not good if we're just in an environment where people can just keep, rug pulling you left, right, and center or scamming you, because that's going to scare people away from crypto anyway, right? Like, so if you really want that kind of mass adoption level of what crypto can get to, which can really help bring the value through, well, then realistically, you kind of need those regulations, right? You need something in place that safeguards the community, the sector. And that way people can feel more secure investing in crypto because they're protected. So as much as it might be a bit of a, this isn't the way it was supposed to be. Yeah, I do get that and I do understand it. But at the same time, if you want that big adoption, that's what's required, right? Like, that's what's needed. And so for me, I'm looking at that kind of thing of regulations, not just regulations, because I don't think it just solely falls on that, but I think that's one of the catalysts that's going to help when we get to like the mass adoption level, when institutions know they can come in and get involved without, legal scrutiny or, any kind of backlash. Investors and, people can invest feeling confident that their money is going to be safe, that they are protected to some legal degree. That kind of stuff that's going to give people reassurance to get involved. Those are the kind of things that I think personally is going to add to us getting to that, the value coming, right? Because I do think when regulations do come through, a lot of these cryptos, and I'm talking literally like 95%, will be gone. There will be a lot of cryptos that are just wiped out. We've got like 20,000 plus different cryptos out here now. We don't need that many cryptos. That's ridiculous, right? So they're not going to make it because some of them are just outright scams and some of them are just going to be cryptos that, even if they have got utility, the network isn't good enough to stand up to the the scrutiny of handling, transfers and volume of thousands, etc. Like, not all these networks are going to be able to do that kind of stuff. So when the regulations come through and you start to see that big adoption, you'll see which ones crumble and which ones were just scams in the first place, right? So I do think that's a part of it. Like, I do think that's a stepping stone to getting to that point. But for me personally, I do think Hedera is going to be one of the networks that, when it's all said and done, and we're left with the few networks that are actually out here that have survived and that are actually here for the long term, I think Hedera will be there. That's my personal belief. That's my personal opinion. So I just look at this kind of stuff and see everything that they've done in a year, and I'm like, that's a lot of work going on and a lot of, utility being made. So I look at that and I'm like, yeah, like, big companies like this using the network, you can see how much stuff has been done within a year. Like, that to me seems like, people having confidence in wanting to use Hedera, right? So, like, for me, I have that confidence still that long term it's going to get there. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I do believe long term it's going to get there. Now, like you guys, I would love for, this bull run to still be in play and that we can get some money in the immediate future. But I don't get to control whether that's the case or not. Do you know what I mean? So I will just go with whatever happens. If we are still in a bull run, then great. Hopefully can get some money in the bull run. But if we are in a bear market now and it's over, yeah, frustrating, of course. But okay, it's back to business as usual then, and we just have to wait longer until we get to that point. But for me, when I'm looking at, do I feel like crypto as a whole is over? No, I do think it's over for a lot of cryptos out there, from discussions that I've had. But I do think the ones that have actually got the longevity, that they're fine. Crypto isn't over as a whole. That's the point. Like, yes, we might be in a bear market, but we've seen that happen numerous times. That comes and goes. Like, it's just procedure. It's just cyclical, right? At the end of the day, like, this kind of utility, this kind of usage of a network, that's the kind of stuff that's going to stand the test of time. That to me is what's showing you, the real fundamentals of a company or a network it's got a long-term future, so, I really think this is the kind of stuff that just gives me further confidence. I hope it's, help for you guys. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. That's your choice. But for me, I read this and I just think that's been a really great year for Hedera. And that to me shows a lot of confidence, and it just restores my belief in Hedera long term. So I'm not sure what you guys want to make of that. Obviously, that's your choice. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I think this is great, and I just think this is the kind of stuff that you'd want to look for a network if you are looking to invest. If you are thinking about investing, this is the kind of stuff that I would be hoping to see, because this is the kind of stuff that would give me confidence, right? So great stuff here, and I look forward to seeing what 2026 can bring for Hedera, because it's looking very bright. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.